Hey guys, it's Syama here with Scaling Retail. I'm here with Diego, the men's sales director at Baldwin. Baldwin is celebrating its 10-year anniversary, which is like super flippin' exciting. Very difficult to be in business for 10 years, and today we're going to have a really interesting conversation around business expansion. You know, what's it like to open up a retail store? What does that mean for business? What does that mean for market here, right? As you're kind of looking into distribution channels, and also certainly the rebrand. So lots of exciting stuff, but let's just start from the beginning. Diego, talk to me about the brand.
Well, the brand was originally started in 2009 by Matt and Emily Baldwin out of their standard style retail store that they had there. It grew organically into kind of what it is now, a full-blown men's and women's ready-to-wear collection. Yeah. They started opening some retail stores a few years after that, and it's grown into the beast it is today.
Which is incredible.
With a lot of effort, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of lessons learned, you know?
Yeah, talk to me about some of those lessons. Like, what are some of the things where you're like, oh, wow, like, this was a pivotal moment, or this was an interesting opportunity?
I've personally only been with the brand for about a year, directing sales, part of the rebrand, but one of the lessons from what I imagine, and I think one of the brand probably was affected, is maybe saying yes too many times.
Yeah.
You want to offer your product to everybody and to sell to everyone. You know, you want to get it out there, and you want to get the brand recognition, and obviously sales too. But saying yes to everybody sometimes works against you.
I totally agree with that. You know, I think that there is that duality between I want to be everywhere, and then like I don't want to oversaturate the market, and I don't really want to be everywhere. Yeah. So like, how do I balance that? And
but also on a workload level, right? So you're saying yes to everybody, but then you're realizing, hey, I'm selling to this many more stores, or I'm accepting I want to do this or that, and that's going to create a little bit more work, you know. So
absolutely.
I think it's got to be a slow, steady build, and be a little bit more strategic with your yeses, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great piece of advice. So showing here at Agenda, which is very exciting, right? Liberty, I think, has done such a great job of curating really cool brands. You guys have an amazing booth. You're also celebrating a rebrand, right? So talk to me about how your customers have been responding to this rebrand. What's the market feedback been like?
It's got to be with a real reason, a real purpose, I think. And that's what we're trying to tell. We're really trying to create a modern American fashion brand, something that we feel like the market needs, something that you can really stand behind, you know, really tell that modern American fashion story coming out of the U.S.
Sure.
And it's a lot. Customers are responding well to it. At first they're a little like, wait, we only buy jeans from you guys, you're a denim company, you make some clothes, but you know, now it's close to 30% of our business is denim.
Wow.
But it's not that the denim business shrunk. It's that we just added a full ready-to-wear component now that's grown it to, you know, by 70%. So it's good. It's nice. I think a lot of customers, to be honest with you, they've been wanting something like this from Baldwin for a long time. They've been selling jeans, and they've wanted to love the collection in the past, and have more of that brand representation in their store, and now they can. And that's how they've been reacting to it, you know?
That's amazing. Congratulations. You know, I think that it's really challenging sometimes to launch into one category, right? And especially with like denim, right? And then you kind of push your way into other categories, and people say, well, where's the quality behind the production, right? Like, can you really stand behind your other categories in the same way that you can stand behind your denim, right?
Absolutely,
because those are very different kinds of product categories with different customers. But to be able to see a thread, or to see your customer want to build their wardrobe, right, starting with denim and adding on, you know, from ready to wear, I think that's really exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you. Absolutely. It's a lot of hard work from, you know, I guess I put a little bit of work into it too, but I think
totally.
You know, our design team, our production team, we're really working hard at the office to just get this going again, and to get that consistency, and to put that effort in to the clothing, to the ready-to-wear collection, so we can really stand behind what we're trying to do. Because I think a lot of denim brands, or brands that we're trying to rebrand, make that initial effort but maybe don't back it up.
Interesting.
which is something that I think shows. Looking back on this in a couple of years from now, you go, no, they really didn't put their foot off. They didn't take their foot off the pedal, and they stood behind what they wanted to do with the rebrand and the quality of the goods, and not cutting corners. I think that's something that's really important.
Amazing. So talk to me a little bit. Obviously at this role as like a sales director, I mean, you're talking to customers all over the world. You're kind of looking at pushing out this brand narrative. Talk to me a little bit about your distribution strategy right now. Is it, where are you getting the most excitement from? Like, what are the accounts that you're the most excited to collaborate more with?
Kind of pretty big question.
Sorry.
No. And I'm like, well, I don't want to say too much, but sell to store. We want to sell to stores that want to be true partners. So we're willing to be true partners to the store, but we also won't need them to support us as well. I think those days of just a brand sending you a box of clothing, charging your credit card, and forgetting about you are long gone, and then trying to sell you next season. We're spending time in the stores. We're getting everybody very knowledgeable of all our product. We're putting a lot of time and energy into product knowledge. That's a big investment on our end, But we also expect brands or stores to support us, to be consistent every season.
What does that mean? Like,
to
when
not
you're
mark down.
Evaluating a brand, when you're evaluating a retailer, and you're like, okay, like, these are the criteria, these are the things that I need from you, right?
Yeah.
Like, what does that list look like?
Communication.
Yep.
Number one. There's got to be a very clear line of communication.
Sure.
Transparency, right? So not trying to cheat each other in any way,
Yep.
Following if there's happens to be something at the end of the season that hasn't sold, having that conversation instead of marking it down soon or putting it on your website or there's a lot of ways to answer that question, but
yeah.
My main focus is open line of communication and willingness to partner, and then proving it, right? So I can sell you something and then tell you I'm going to do this. I'm going to come to your store and and then you don't see me until the next trade show. If I was you, I wouldn't work with me anymore.
Yeah.
That's not how it works anymore. I think we need to add more value to clothing, and we need to add more value to the customer service experience,
That's really exciting. And one point you mentioned here was product training, and I think that's something
Huge.
that's like, not a lot of the brands we've interviewed over the last few days have really focused on getting into stores and educating the people who work there about the brand. So who heads that up internally? Is that you? Do you have a team that goes out there? What is product training?
I wish I had a team. I go out there.
Okay.
We
so
go
what
out there,
is that,
and sales team I think is what's, when some of the bigger brands will use a third party to do something like that, to go into the store, to fill the shelves, to talk to those people, but as a brand representative, somebody that's living, breathing it, crying it sometimes, right? Like really struggling through it and knows the ins and outs of it, I can passionately tell you about that brand. I can probably connect with somebody on the sales floor a lot better than somebody that's not well versed or doesn't know the ins and outs of the brand as much as I can. Reps, I'm not saying that anybody else can't do it, but that's really important, to get out there and to show face and to have the same conversations I'm having with the buyers, with the sales associates.
So often overlooked, right? I mean, when you think about it, at the end of the day, once the product hit the shelves, the buyers are really no longer involved, right? And now you have this product, and it has to move, and the chain of education really has to be instilled.
I mean, if you put yourself in a retailer's shoes, right? Sales associate sitting there. He's working there all day long. He's got clients he also has a relationship with, right? He gets a box full of stuff from a brand that he doesn't know. He doesn't know what the fabric is. It's just cool stuff, but he doesn't really know anything about it. He can't confidently sell that product to somebody that because he's giving somebody's asking him for advice on how to wear something with style, which is important. Gives the customer some confidence. So it trickles down. So if he goes, hey, you're wearing, for example, you're wearing a cotton silk blend woven. Have you ever worn silk before? No, I haven't. So that guy's able to feel a little bit more confident in his wardrobe. It all trickles down. So if I can go into those retail stores and meet with every single sales associate. They have my email. They know information about all the product. It gives them opportunity to confidently sell our product, and then ultimately tell the bigger picture of what we're trying to do as a brand.
Got it.
And again, we're not trying to make more shit for the masses, right? We're trying to do everything with a reason and a purpose.
I love that. One of the things that I think our audience is especially interested in is many of them are in this growth stage space, right? They're kind of bootstrapping things. They're trying to figure out, when do I bring on a full-time salesperson to help me with this?
Yeah.
When do I keep working with a sales rep? You've been in this industry. You're a sales maverick. Talk to us a little bit about the right timing and what kind of having that in-house sales functionality can really do for our business.
I feel like a lot of peers are going to be mad if I answer this how I truly feel, but I think in-house sales is crucial. It's got its cons too, like there's a lot more power in a showroom. You can kind of ride on each other's coattails, brand from brand in showrooms. But I think it's important to support everything I was saying, getting that rep in there that's living, breathing it.
Yeah. Which is hard to do if you're repping like 6 brands, right? It's
absolutely.
Like,
you can't.
You can't. Yeah, exactly.
You can, but
the allegiance.
Realistically, you're going to pick 1 or 2 brands that you're going to push and work well with and get to tell the story, because it's just too much information. You get somebody in house. I think it's super important. I think it's important to, if somebody can. If I was me, I would try to do it as much as I can and sell as much as I can until I'm kind of maxed out responsibilities, work, schedule, and then go, hey, sales guy, here's a kind of business that I have. I kind of know what it takes, and I've already have a little bit of experience. So you're not just you're putting something on the table first. You're not blindly just finding a sales guy that's going to run your brand for you. You kind of, I think you need a little bit of experience doing it as well.
Absolutely.
And then when that guy comes on board, or the woman or whoever, staying and making sure that they're still telling that brand message, because it could be very easy for somebody to miscommunicate your message throughout a whole market. They could really not affect your business, but it can, if you've been trying
image, right?
The brand image. I think it's very important that all those touch points and those people that you meet, and every time you have that one-on-one, it's they're starting to they get to know a little bit better that story, because they're not going to soak it all. It's not going to all soak in, right? Like, I've been telling this story for a year now, so many times. It's always tweaking a little bit more, and it's always growing. It's changing. So I think it's important for one person to focus on that, and that's how you get the true brand story through.
Got it. And as far as your collaborations with retailers, so obviously you have a big collection here. Do you guys ever focus on like capsule collections or doing collaborations with retailers? Like, how much of a part of time are you spending kind of working with retailers for things that are more customized to them? Or do you find, I'm sure the entire collection does well, but obviously in this rise of needing capsules and newness and all of that, how do you kind of work
categories.
With that? As a sales rep?
We're really focusing on that brand message, the collection as a whole, our retail stores, and being the best partner we can for the stores we have now. That is
everything
at the moment. It's been a lot of work just to do that alone. So I'm the sales guy, right? So I want to do capsules of this and that. We're launching at Bergdorf Goodman this month.
Congratulations!
Thank you. I'd love to do an exclusive jean for them and this or that. But it's taking away the focus for what the task at hand is right now, and that is getting that message out there. We stand behind all the product. I think there's incredible stuff. The only little bit of exclusivity or the collaboration that we might be doing is giving a little bit more exclusivity to somebody over someone else, right?
Got it.
Maybe not selling everything to a major department store that we're selling to specialty stores, or vice versa.
Diversifying.
Changing it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Merchandising a little different. So that's a way to do it. But collaborations, I find, we're excited to do one. We feel like we don't. We need to really establish ourselves again as Baldwin, this modern American fashion brand, before we can warrant collaborating with somebody, because we don't want to collaborate with just anyone. So
Reinstating the foundation.
And going, hey, now we're
yeah.
back up here,
Yeah.
so we can collaborate with somebody
Amazing.
that's there. So, but I think collaborations are incredibly important.
Absolutely.
Again, going back to what I was in the showroom, like piggybacking and helping each other out, and getting those different channels, saving all the investment of having to open up a whole new channel of exposure, just on the drop of a hat by putting together collaboration. So
co-op marketing, all of a sudden,
Absolutely.
It's like you have another really great story to tell.
Yeah, I mean we do in-store collaborations where, again, it's time. I guess is a collaboration. Going in there, doing a special event, gifting clients that are coming into the store, like a gift with purchase, investing in that retailer.
I love a good GWP.
Yeah,
I feel like sometimes it's like back in the day, it was like the GWP was everything, right? And now you don't really see it as much, and I think it becomes more special now, when it's like, oh wow, I get like this thing, and, it's like
a tote bag.
Yeah, bring it back, I love that.
We try to make them a little bit more custom, but it's important.
Absolutely.
It shows that I think it shows that we care. It shows that investment, and I think it's great when a customer at the retail level is meeting somebody from the brand, and I'm able to tell them the story. I think, again, telling that message, it's important. So
very cool, amazing. And then I just think some final parting questions that I have. One of them is, the organizational infrastructure, right? I mean, how often is sales talking to marketing, and
all day, every day?
Yeah. So how integrated are your teams right now, as far as what's on the horizon, supporting each other? What does that look like?
We sit next to production. I'm sitting in front of our customer service manager. Something's going to be delivering maybe a little bit later, or there might be a defect in a fabric that we bought, that we invested in, that we're going to, those communications need to come down through the chain quickly.
Which is difficult to do if you have an external partners, right? It's
absolutely,
it's
and
very challenging.
That's why it's so important to have the sales guy in house.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. That's why it's so important to have a guy in house, because I know, hey, I'll pick up the phone and be like, hey, Eric from a store, this jean I just heard, if I was a showroom, you wouldn't know about it for 3-4 weeks, but I know that the shirt's going to come in a little late because the fabric, there's an issue or something that was out of our hands. For example, our holiday collection is going to come in October.
Yeah.
Some people probably want the collection a little bit earlier, so picking up the phone and going, hey, your order's ready to go. Production came in early. So cool. The DNA of marketing, not DNA, but the flow between all the departments is absolutely crucial.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, as we kind of look to the future, right, of the brand, I know you can't disclose everything and all the juicy details that we would all want to hear, but what are some things that you are personally just excited about, right? I mean, you'll be moving into year 2, right, of kind of working in with the company.
Yeah.
Rebrand is happening. Sounds like a lot of education is happening on the retail side of things. What are you excited about? What's up and coming?
There's a lot up and coming. This spring will be a year since we actually fully relaunched the brand and started delivering product under the new direction. So seeing that and supporting, doubling down on our investments, that's what I'm excited about, and seeing how our customers are doing with the product throughout the whole year. I'm very excited about that because I'm very confident that it's going to do well. All our retailer partners are very well versed. They know the brand. They really believe in it. So seeing how the little plant that we planted in January last year is growing, and there's other things too. Seeing our new store in Los Angeles is. I saw the pictures of it finished while I was here. It made me want to jump on a plane and go back and check it out.
I mean, Melrose
it looks
Place
just
is
incredible.
a really special street, right? I mean, It's like there are some of the top retailers with experiential spaces. You get these really high net worth individuals coming in, so there's big dollars being spent. A lot of events happening on Melrose Place. I mean, honestly, it's one of my favorite places,
Right.
To just walk around and see what's happening. So strategically, I feel like
you got to come buy something.
Move. Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge. That's that's a huge.
It's a big investment. It's a big move, and
it says a lot about the brand.
Yeah. Well, we really want to tell that story, and what better way to have a place where you can, where all the touch points of that store are in line with what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Again, it's following up on what we're saying, what we're doing. Like I said in the beginning, is, we're telling you the story. This is what we're doing, but we're doubling down on it and we're proving it. And hopefully seeing that through. Other things too, building businesses with existing accounts, and Bergdorf Goodman is exciting.
Yes, great.
But then we also have some incredible accounts that have been with the brand for a really long time, and growing with them, because a lot of categories that they're buying from us are new. So that's exciting, and that's a lot already. There's other little secrets that we can't tell, but
no problem. We'll make sure that we look out for them over the next year. I'm sure there'll be a lot of buzz around it. Anything I did not ask you? Our audience here, they're looking on how they can scale up their businesses. I mean, words of encouragement, words of reality checks.
Yeah.
I think those are all really important for our audience.
I think it's somebody messaged me a similar question on LinkedIn the other day, and I answered it quickly, and then I went back and read it, and I was like, that makes sense. Hustle. Do what you really care about, but give it your all, and just don't cheat yourself or anybody around you. Like, be truthful, because that's you're gonna be, if you're hustling and you're trying to work hard. If you cheat yourself or cheat someone else, or you're not as transparent as you should be, it's all going out the window, because it's going to come around. It is a small industry. So, and I don't mean in a negative way, but I'm saying, do the work as hard as you can, and don't try to cut any corners.
Got it. That's really good advice. All right, guys, that's all from us here at Baldwin. Thank you so much, Diego. Amazing interview, guys. So bootstrap your sales, get it to a good spot, get your in-house salesperson, right? Make sure that you're hustling really hard, build relationships, look to build businesses. And I think especially the great piece of advice here was double down on your foundation. I think that oftentimes brands, and you guys here, are trying to grow so quickly, and you want to hit here and you want to hit here, and it's great to be ambitious, but even more importantly, it's good to be authentic, work hard, and build the foundation so your business can scale successfully and be around for 10 plus years, right? So coming off of a brand that's 10 years old, I mean, it's really a phenomenal feat, and I think that that's something to really be celebrated. So thank you very much, Diego. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.